Welcome back to video number 3. This is the video where we talk about everything going on with the royal family. There's a lot to cover. Let's get in there. Let's go. Let's start with Highgrove and the fact that King Charles has launched a new range of honey. And I have to agree with Sabira Lohan. This is how you work a brand. You release it to the public, you let them know it's available, you put a price on it, and you put it up for sale. None of this, let me send it out to some friends so they can show you pictures. So maybe 8 months from now, you might be able to get an overpriced jar of something. King Charles knows exactly what he's doing. His stuff is organic, even though Meghan Markle said it wasn't. It's perfect. I'm ordering some. Next up, we know that a huge hurricane ripped through several countries in the Caribbean, and at least 10 people lost their lives. And King Charles, as he usually does, sent a message to everybody that was affected by this hurricane. He expressed, and I'm quoting, his profound sadness at the devastation and loss of life, while praising the resilience of the Caribbean people. He sent condolences from the entire royal family, and apparently he's making a personal donation to the relief effort. And of course, William and Catherine decided they were going to help as well. Now, this is the difference between William and Catherine and Harry and Meghan. William and Catherine did not announce that they were helping. They privately donated the funds, and they're following the situation. And it wasn't until a reporter called to ask that it was confirmed that they had donated the funds, because they weren't looking for accolades for themselves. They were looking to help other people. So 3 people in Grenada, 3 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and 3 in Venezuela were killed along with others, and they just want to help. This is what I think is fabulous. All right, let's move on. Next up, Rishi Sunak. He's no longer the prime minister. And he arrived at the palace, and he was greeted by Sir Clive Alderton, who we know is the principal private secretary to King Charles and Queen Camilla. He was with Commander Thornton of the Royal Navy, who's equerry to the king. They greeted Rishi Sunak and his wife at Buckingham Palace. And this was done because he tendered his resignation. Later on, King Charles met the new Prime Minister, Sir Starmer, after he won. He has officially become Britain's 58th Prime Minister. Apparently, it was a landslide election victory, they're saying. So he accepted an invitation from King Charles to form the first majority Labour government since Gordon Brown left office at number 10. And this ends, they're saying, 14 years of Conservative rule. He got 412 seats in the House of Commons, 9.6 million voted for Labour at the general election, and his official invitation to form the government came just moments after Rishi Sunak left Downing Street for the final time. Wow. I find it interesting that this is not the first time they've met, because some pictures came out of King Charles when he was Prince of Wales knighting Mr. Starmer. Pretty cool. You should know that the night before that, or the day before that, King Charles met with Scotland's First Minister at Holyrood House, John Swinney. Now, the audience with the First Minister, they're saying, traditionally features during the monarch's annual Holyrood week. However, because of the election, the images were not released until after the outcome of the general election became clear on Friday, in keeping with the pre-election sensitivity for the royal family in the run-up to the vote. However, you could see Mr. Sweeney, shaking hands with the king. And, in the early hours of Friday, they're saying he pledged a period of soul-searching for his party after what he described as a very poor performance. They're saying in the articles that Scottish Labour overturned almost a decade of dominance in Scotland's Westminster seats. Interesting. All right, moving on. Now, on July 5th, Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, I am trying to pronounce it correctly, guys, he had a reception for people who had achieved the gold standard at the Palace of Holyrood House. Looking good. And also, I don't have any pictures of it, on July 5th, Edward visited the Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's National Memorial Garden at the Royal Botanical Garden in Edinburgh. Then on the evening of the 5th, Edward went to a gala performance of the Roman invasion of Ramsbottom at the Thames Music Theatre, where he also met with the volunteers and the performers and the tech teams. Lovely. Now we're going to move on to Wimbledon. As you can see, the place was packed. And one of the first people we're going to talk about is Lady Amelia Windsor. She is the granddaughter of the Duke of Kent. Looking good there. As is usual, I want to put out a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us everything that the young lady was wearing. And I would also like to point out, people are talking about the fact that she seemed very cozy with her boyfriend at Wimbledon. I don't know how long this relationship is going on, but they're very, very cute together. Lord Frederick Windsor was spotted up in the stands watching the tennis match. He looks very animated with whatever's going on in front of him. Also spotted there is Prince Michael of Kent. And he also looked very, very irritated at what was going on in front of him. Crazy. All right, next up, this story, I just thought it was hilarious. Prince William was at Windsor Castle, and there was a tourist there, and he spotted Prince William on an electric scooter scooting around Windsor Castle. So people are saying, that makes total sense because Adelaide Cottage is like 3 miles away. And so whenever he wants to see his father, he just hops on this little electric scooter and scooches, the 3 miles down to see his dad. I, for one, thought that was absolutely phenomenal. Love it. You should know that the scooter he was on can go up to 10 miles an hour. They are illegal to ride on public roads there, but they can be used on private land, which is what William does. And it was pointed out that the Queen was getting around the estate on a 6-seater golf cart before she passed away. Nobody knows the make or model of this scooter, but they can cost up to £6,000. Now, sticking with William, he held a meeting on July 5th at Windsor Castle with representatives from the Royal Foundation and charities with which they are patrons. Finally, let's talk about Zara. Apparently, they're saying, and we already knew this, that she's proven to be a really big ally within the royal family. She has a very unique and influential role, which I agree with. She's been pivotal to her mother's recovery from the horse incident, they're saying. She's been strength and constant dedication to her family. And they're saying that she has a very unique position because not only is she able to step in for the royal family when they ask, but she and her husband have their own private lives. Now, before anybody says that's a Harry and Meghan thing, that's what, Harry and Meghan wanted. Zara and Mike do not have security. Zara and Mike do not receive any public assistance of any kind. Zara and Mike have not monetized the monarchy. Big difference. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button. You can go down into my description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, my Amazon wish list, my address. If you've donated anything to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.